We are the hub for news, results, and CEO interviews focusing the junior commodities sector. We provide market analysis and perspective that will help position you for solid returns.
Happy Friday and welcome. Hello, Austin. Hello, Adam in the background. This is the holiday meme show. We're very excited about this. Probably some of our best analytical work of the year.
This is the best content we put out every year. This is the show I look the most forward to.
Yes, and you know what? We have a lot of fun. But if you can't laugh, and some of these are going to be painful, because it's been a terrible year. I mean, we know it's been a rough year for the market, and if you can't laugh, then that's it's not good. Like, we should have a bit of a laugh at how terrible it is, and then move on, and we'll hope that 23 is a bit better, although the economic outlook is not looking positive. That being said, we're very positive about what we're working on. Let's get right into it. This is a perfect one.
I love this one because it really showcases what I think has been a trend over the last few years of people getting into the stock market, especially like kind of early in the COVID situation when the market was doing all sorts of crazy things, and just like, okay, yeah, I think I understand this. I think I know what I'm doing. Or people who are big into the Bitcoin crypto thing, and they're like, oh yeah, I totally understand it. I totally get it. And then it's that crashing, like soul-crushing realization of, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, I'm in trouble. I just lost 20 grand. What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky to have gone through these like catastrophic failure events a couple times. So I can see them. And each time that they happen, people think, oh, it'll never happen again. So like, it's great that people are interested in trading and day trading, and whether you're looking at crypto or the meme stocks. But so many people all of a sudden were like, oh, if I go into a forum and they're talking about AMC or they're talking about Dogecoin, it just goes up. Like, how hard is this? Like, I didn't realize it was so easy. And it's perfect, because that's the reality of how difficult and intricate the whole financial system is. And we only delve into very, very low levels of it because we want to keep it a general show. But that's the level of comprehension by most people. And I love it. It's a funny meme. It's not taking, a shot at anyone, but it also kind of reminds people that it's tough. It's not easy stuff.
Yeah, that's for sure. It is, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, oh, this is great. So this is the first in the collection of this is a nice take on. I'm sure everyone's heard about Trump's NFTs that he was giving out, and my God, if there was ever a nail in the coffin for that guy, I think this might be it.
This is either a call for help or a final grip.
I think this is someone's take on if Biden had his own NFTs, that these would be him here. And this goes great with the Trump and the Superman kind of costume, which I think we have coming up here, which is, I want to preface this by saying, this is one of the real NFTs you can get. This isn't a joke. This isn't a meme. This is actually if you go to the Trump NFT website, you can buy this. You can collect Trump cards of him done up as Superman, and I think that's just fantastic.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I wish I jumped in on it. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
There's some people that I would have loved to give these as Christmas cards to. I just think it would have been great. But then you have to go, oh God, like, do I really want to be spending my money supporting Trump? And you can dive into the whole, what is he actually doing with these NFT things, and what's the kind of purpose behind it? I think he's just, and we probably have this one there, Adam. He's just making NFTs great again. That's his new.
Yes.
That's the new. Here we go. There it is.
There we go. There we go.
He's great again.
It's the irony too is that either this is the biggest genius in the world, because maybe we start the years off with NFTs just rocketing into the moon, or it's like the quintessential worst possible time with everything happening in crypto that one could possibly dream of putting out a product like this.
Maybe he's gonna save it. Maybe it's gone so bad, it's gone so sideways. He will be the savior of the crypto NFT market and turn the whole thing around. That'll be his new base. It'll be the hardcore, 30% like never gonna
Yes.
change their minds, diehard Trump people, and the crypto NFT circle
Crowd.
will
Yeah.
rally behind him.
They're going to come together. Yeah. A new alliance will be formed.
A coalition of the willing, or whatever you want to call it.
So speaking of meme stocks, this is a great one. Hold. Everyone can remember Braveheart.
Yeah, and that's one of the best scenes from Braveheart too.
And it's, once again, we're laughing, but you go to Wall Street Bets or in Reddit, this is the strategy. And I mean, I saw it in the first in 2000s, in 2008. It's just human nature. People are like, it's reaching its top. Everyone buy, and it just drops again. So that's a very clever one. It's pretty funny, but this is the fun with memes here.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, it's good because and this is why we like doing this show every once in a while too, is being able just to highlight and say, you got to be able to kind of laugh at this a little bit, but this is really what goes on. This is the kind of common thread of thinking with some of these meme stocks and stuff like that. So let's see where we're. Oh, here we go. Now we get to talk about our good friend Sam. And for those of you who have been wondering why we haven't touched on this, we've been saving it for this moment, Andrew.
This is obviously the story of the year. I mean, this is incredible. It's the meme of the year. You know what? It's what's funny is you still have a lot of people trying to defend and buffer this. They already have the guy who's been in front of Congress. He was the gentleman who kind of took over Enron for the Enron scandal. I mean, he came out in front of Congress and just said, listen, what's interesting about Enron is that it was really smart people, hedge fund people and futures guys that were creating these offshore products. And it took forensic accounting to try to figure out what they're doing. And it was challenging. And it was like a Rubik's Cube, it was just 4D chess. He goes, we walk in, because it's just straight up fraud. Because it's just embezzlement. They're just stealing stuff, because there's no sophistication. It's very simple. And yet we still have mainstream news, lots of them out there, still trying to protect some way of FTX collapsed. It's like, no, it didn't. It was an outright fraud.
Yeah, and it's crazy because there's so many different people involved. Oh my God. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is Sam Bankman-Fried, who is the CEO. I don't know how you couldn't know who this guy is after the month he's had. But he's the CEO of FTX, which was a cryptocurrency platform, which had everyone from, Kevin O'Leary was out promoting it. And there's a great video of him where he's like, I'm a shareholder and I'm a investor and I'm a spokesperson for this company. And I think, Sam's great because, both his parents are compliance lawyers. And that's actually true. His mom, I believe, is a law professor at the University of Stanford. And his dad is a fairly high, well-known lawyer in the San Francisco area.
And they're both they both have raised money for the Clintons and Obama. They're deeply into that. They're the number one fundraisers for them, which is also interesting, where all these funds went. They went to a lot of special causes, let's say.
Interesting digging, let's just say. There's some good breakdowns out there. We won't jump into it too much, but
we won't. And some Republicans too. So there are some Republicans that took money from them. And let's just be 100% above board. None of them are giving it back.
It doesn't matter which one it is.
So here's a real, this is a headline compared to a real headline.
So the real headline: FTX collapse wiped out founders' philanthropic aims. FTX's fraud wiped out their customers' money. Now, I don't know how accurate this number is, because I've heard different numbers floating around out there. But apparently Tom Brady and his ex-wife were in FTX to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yes. Yeah.
So they could be, which is crazy. Yeah.
That could be gone. It's likely that's gone. But what's funny is that these 20 billion here, 50 million here, those went out to different causes, like progressive causes. So those philanthropic aims got met. They got met. Yeah. And like we said, we saw with that previous email, 250 million sounds like a lot of money to put someone for, what do you call it, for bail. Not if you've stolen billions and billions.
Yeah.
So guess what?
250 million's a drop in the bucket.
He paid government billions and billions. He paid Ukraine billions and billions, and now he's paying off the government 250 million.
Yeah.
Again,
there's an email thread that I saw between him and Elon Musk that was essentially like, Elon was like, look, this guy said, that he's got 3 billion liquid or 5 billion liquid or 10 billion liquid, and I can't tell what the heck is going on here, so I don't really trust it. Probably a smart move by Elon if that's actually the case.
Yeah.
But it was, it's just this whole situation was out of control, and that's great. I'll bring this one up, Andrew. I don't know if you saw it, the video of his girlfriend, who was also their risk management director.
Oh yeah.
And her great quote of, we don't believe in things like stop losses.
No. We use basic. We don't even use math. Like, we just do like arithmetic here.
Yeah, we don't find that sort of thing to be useful risk management tools.
And it's like, literally, if you're in that financial wizardry side of things, they literally have like NASA scientists that work in investment banks that create products, that do the derivatives trades. I mean, so to hear someone say that they and let's be honest, they weren't. They were just making huge bets. They were doing a lot of interesting over-the-counter drugs and having a strange time. Okay, here we go.
So this meme format seems to make it in every time we do one of these, because there's always another situation that this applies to. For anyone that hasn't seen The Wolf of Wall Street, watch it over the Christmas season. It's a fantastic movie. But this is from when he's given the pitch of, I believe the company's Aerotime Technologies. And he's selling this up and coming, aerospace innovation company, and it turns out the company was just like two dudes in their mom's garage in Colorado that were making like paper airplanes or something.
Yeah, and this is the perfect like old school pump and dump. And we joked about it before. We said, listen, this crypto space is full of this. It's the old school pump and dump stuff that you used to see in the mining sector. You used to see it in a lot of the junior markets, the pink sheets and stuff. They just moved it into big time. And and so it's great, because it's a great scene in the movie, because Leonardo DiCaprio is a great actor, and he pulls it off. He's so convincing on the phone, and it's just that's the script that would be said.
That's exactly what it would be. I love, that's one of my favorite meme formats out there when it comes to.
Here we go. The next Warren Buffett, and we have the Steve Jobs, another big win for the year, Theranos CEO.
Yes.
So this one I love too, because it's your complicit mainstream news. And once again, some of it is on purpose, that they're backing specific causes, but sometimes it's just they're very lazy. They get paid to promote things, and they just promote it. Speaking of promoters, once again, and I just want to take a second here, because I remember I did 2 years ago, I did a conference speaking at it. And I said, how is it possible to have an efficient stock market when you're living basically in clown world? Where literally up is down, down is up. People are referring to the science and not referring to any data or reading any reports. And everything's a conspiracy theory that you don't actually know anything about. But this one's great because we're Irish. So the final stage is great. So maybe Austin, walk us through.
Well, I mean, like, now these quotes are a little bit ad-libbed around what he said, but he did in February 2019, he did say, this is total garbage. Which, in credit, if that was the only thing Kevin O'Leary said, he would have been massively ahead of the curve on his take on crypto, because he was saying that when a lot of people were, calling him crazy for saying that, and like basically that like old man shakes fist at cloud, like the future is now, old man, you just don't understand. And of course, now here we are almost 3 years later. And singing a very different tune. But the one at the bottom is great, because now that he's been kind of backed into a corner with this, and people have realized, like, hey, either you either knew what was going on, or you were totally bamboozled. He breaks out this quote about my dad always told me that we're never lie to an Irishman because the Irish are crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Where's this quote coming
In all
from?
fairness, my dad would say that I'm crazy. So
yeah, but he wouldn't pin it on an entire nation.
No. But I mean, we won't pick on him too much because he's got serious problems. But he was paid $15 million, and then he went out and basically told people that he suffered a huge loss, and they're like, "Well, hold on, yeah, you lost 10 of the 15. You got to keep 5. That's, I guess, in theory, it's a loss, but you're still up 5 because you never had. They paid you 15, you gave back 10. All right." But what this is, and I think there's another meme coming on, and I understand. I get it for the average investor. You look at the lineup and the PR and the marketing, next level, the connections, the parents. He's friends with the SEC head, who also gave the thumbs up on this whole deal. This looked like it was going to be the thing, and so everyone. And it can happen, decide not to look. They go, oh, this couldn't be a fraud. And that does happen. We actually saw that with the movie Gold. And we saw that with Briex. People go, well, how in the world did none of the analysts bother to look? None of the analysts looked at this one.
Exactly. Well,
Kevin O'Leary didn't look at all. Yeah.
He just basically was like, okay, well, his parents.
How could it go wrong?
Lawyers,
yeah,
I trust him, and he was obviously a well-connected guy to end up in the situation that he was in. I mean, to a degree of what those connections go to, but I mean, like, if you're the average person hearing, oh, Kevin O'Leary, like the Shark Tank guy is in this, Tom Brady's putting money into this. I believe Larry David came out and said he lost a big chunk of money in FTX. You hear those names that are involved in it.
Yeah.
It's easy to go, okay, well,
he's at the White House at dinners. He's hanging out with the head of the SEC. His parents are like ultra into the Democratic Party. He's getting interviewed by everyone from this philanthropy angle. And it's just a fraud. I mean, but anyways, enough of him because it's just so toxic. It's the perfect example of where we are right now and the level of corruption across the board that we see daily now. And this one here, it seems like we're picking on Cathie Wood, but this is also what happens when you play tech. Like if you get aggressive about tech, and I believe given time, she's going to be back up there. She will.
Oh yeah.
If she can survive, this is going to be tough times for her. And I like her.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, jump in.
You can go back 2 years ago and watch live streams where we've talked about Cathie Wood and kind of we had the same take that we do now.
Yeah.
Is that she's just had a rougher ride in this market than anyone else has, really, from a big kind of what's the term I'm looking for? From like a public figure to look at and say, wow, who's really had the worst go of the last 6 months? She's probably right at the top of the list.
Yes. And I mean, it's a couple of things. We talked about, like, I wouldn't want to be Cathie last year and the year before because it's like this, we could see, I mean, this was crumbling. And what's good about this is you can see the Warren Buffett thing that everyone goes back to, the classic value kind of investor fundamentals from like that 2016 to 20, it's flat. So everyone talking about him, he's not really doing anything because he's not a tech guy. He doesn't get involved. She's ramping up, getting a name for herself, and it takes off. And what happens then is that when you're in, especially tech, and they're doing amazing things. There's so much, like, good and bad, but incredibly mind-blowing things, is your full-time job is literally looking at the technologies and trying to make sure, are they on side? Are they on board? She wouldn't have any, I'm going to guess, any concept of the world macro situation that's going on, and money's flooding in, and you often don't want to turn it away. But this is a perfect example of cycles, and as well of the tech sector in general. She'll have her day again. This is just a very painful period of time for her. But if you are a fundamental person, you invest for a long term. You're going to, for most people, that's what you should do. Just take a long term approach. Understand the sector you're in. Anyways, I don't want to yap too long, but we want to kind of get a little educational with the fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we got a couple left, and then we'll do we'll wrap up with Elon and Twitter at the
Okay.
end there. I think we had one or two more trading ones here if Adam's got them handy. That I thought these are just some kind of funny ones that I thought. Here we go. When your wife confronts you about your trading, I'm not losing money. It's called tax loss hardening, and it's classy.
Yes, it's true. It's true. It's not a loss until you take a loss.
It's not. It isn't. Like, and this is from one of my favorite South Park episodes where the dad of one of the kids, this guy Randy here, is he becomes a wine connoisseur so that he can keep drinking. And he said, "I'm not getting drunk, honey. I'm wine tasting. It's classy."
Very good. I like it.
Yeah, so I thought that was a good one. And then I think there was one more, the Bart Simpson one, Adam, if we have that one handy before we do Elon Musk. This one, Andrew, I think you'll like it a lot because it hits on kind of the hypocrisy surrounding everything. So
see this there's nothing more true than this. And if you don't know about the inside trading that has been going on, I mean, it's very open. And you can go watch videos back from like years ago too. And we can pick on both sides. So let's not make it that's just Pelosi, but Pelosi is the leader right now on this whole thing right now. There are ones of the whole Trump team with the what do you call it during the start of COVID with one of the drug makers too, where they're all inside trading on it. Yeah. And it's open. Like you could see it being done. And this just highlights this kind of open level of corruption. And if you just pay mainstream media enough and they promote it a certain way, most people will just accept it as true and won't bother digging and they won't bother looking at it. Mm-hmm. The problem with SBF is it's just too big.
Yeah, you can't not pay attention to this one. And again, that goes back to the level of money, the people that were involved. It's just too much of a mainstream story. But again, you know, the government's going to that's the thing is people are going to go down for this, but people who are involved are going to walk in this situation.
No. Most people will walk. Yeah.
Most of the people will walk.
Yeah. No,
but they really care about your $600 Venmo transaction
and that's
your e-transfers. That's
yes, and that's the regulations coming in. And you keep all conspiracy theories aside. That's a fact. They're going to watch every transaction that every person does. And if you want to know how your government feels about you, with them being able to do whatever they want, fly around the world talking about the climate disaster, with fleets of cars that they fly in with them, doing all those wonderful things, yet we're going to watch you like a hawk for $600. So it just, if people don't understand both sides, the level of corruption that's happening in the West, it almost seems, and I've said before, like they're purposely trying to crash the West because we live in a clown world and the market's reflecting a clown world.
Yeah, it is for sure. All right, this is one of your ones here.
Yes. This goes out. One. Yeah, goes out to Wall Street Bets. This is a great one. And it's just when things are up, and once again, people got they started believing that good times meant that they were really smart and they'd figured out a system. Compared to, listen, here's a reality who's coming and it's hitting hard.
Yeah. You kind of laugh at it, but I know guys my age who kind of had this line of thinking, 2021 things are going well. You're making some money on GameStop and stuff like that. You're thinking, wow, I'm really good at this thing. And now here we are, end of 2022, and those same people they've been through the ringer over the last 9-10 months here. So.
No, I mean, it's tough, but it's a great lesson. So it's going to be a great lesson and it's mostly young men. And I want to encourage young men to stick with it. Before we get to this one, stick with it. You can make money investing and you can, take control of your life. There's lots of good things that can come of it. There's opportunities now moving forward. Yeah. And like I said, 2023 is not going to be the easiest year on the planet. There's going to be real standouts. We feel pretty good. We feel pretty strong, but I don't want people to be discouraged that they think that's it. I'm never touching it again. Maybe the day trading thing, because if you want to be a trader, that's a level of skill and expertise. it's like kind of, deciding, you know what, I'm going to go to the NBA. Like, I'm going to play. Like, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to try it out. Like, no, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to work. But that's a very good point, is that like it's easy to get discouraged in a market like this. But this, like, just like any market, just like the best markets we've been through, it's not forever. And when there are painful times, there's always memes to get you through it. So.
Yeah, and a shout out to Stanford here. Elizabeth Holmes, founder of Theranos. If you don't have a backup plan, when you have any backup, you're not going to succeed. And listen, I think we all learned a valuable lesson from her.
I think we did, for sure. She had a very interesting year as well. So maybe here we'll wrap up.
We'll wrap it up. She accepted an 11-year sentence, so she's actually going to jail, which is shocking and surprising. So
yeah, that doesn't always happen like that. So
doesn't always happen.
We'll wrap it up here with, I know we wanted to close with kind of Elon and Twitter, and there's a lot of different takes that people can have, but this was my favorite one. Just if you're on Twitter, if you're around Twitter, just the last month of the sheer meltdown I'll go this way. Not even the people on the left, the people on the right as well. When it was like, wait, Elon's not gonna like give me full reign to say whatever I want.
Anything I want. Yes. Yeah.
It's he's in this. I think he made a foolish decision to decide to go ahead and go through with this deal. I think he massively overpaid for Twitter.
Sure.
But he is, I think, trying to do the right thing by at least some of the situation, and it's just causing such a colossal meltdown that you have to laugh at it.
And I've got mixed feelings about him. I really do. But I'll say this: if you're looking at a positive side, that someone needs to save free speech. And if you haven't looked at the Twitter files because you don't want to know, they have the information. There's already been collusion. The FBI, and let's be careful here, were involved heavily. They were censoring, like everyone said, conservatives or any right-wing voices, promoting their agenda, their kind of progressive agenda. And you had, tens of thousands of employees to run a social media campaign, when it could be run probably by 20. It was just a big shop, a big kind of spending of money, and it was 100% censored and specifically favoring one side, promoting one side, shadow banning other sides. It's not debatable anymore. So that's what's come out of this. And I know people go, mainstream news won't talk about it, and they like to put up lots of straw man arguments about Elon Musk being a free speech absolutist, which he is not at all. He immediately banned Kanye West. So he doesn't accept that you can say anything. But if you don't know the amount of outcry for violence that Antifa was allowed to do and leftists were allowed to do, like literally say murder people on Twitter, the stuff they were able to get away with. And then if you even mentioned something or questioned something from the right, you're immediately taken off. So if you don't accept that, I'm sorry, can't help you. But someone needs to save free speech, because if you don't mind, if that's gone, there's going to be issues. Like, because there's enough people out there that it matters, that freedom matters, the right to speech matters. And if you don't have an argument for it, I don't have the time for you.
Yeah, and I would strongly encourage anyone who doesn't really understand with the degree of what was going on as far as censorship and shadow banning stuff on Twitter, take a look at the Twitter files reporting. There's been some great stuff done by journalists like Matt Taibbi and Barry Weiss have done some great dive-ins on the Twitter files. They do an excellent just breakdown of the facts. It's a good way to kind of go, okay, wow, this is what was going on here. Because I know for a lot of people who actually took the time to go through the information, they were like, wow, I'm shocked that it was actually this bad at Twitter. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Is Elon the savior that I think he was built up to be? No, but hopefully he can at least allow it to function as a moderately open discourse on Twitter, which is the best case scenario situation, I think.
Yeah, and I'll just say this, like if I had mentioned to anybody, and I had before, even like 6-8 months ago, this idea of shadow banning in Vancouver, No one had an idea. They were like, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
No.
Because they're not even like, people will just watch CBC and then think that they know what's going on in the world. And once again, we said it before, you don't have to have an interest in it, but it's shocking the level of misinformation that people live on, that they're disinterested in any of this. And the level of shocking events in 2022, shocking news that has been going on, and most people are totally oblivious to it, and don't seem to mind. And what's the shocking part, which is wrapping it up, is this willingness to give up your freedoms. Just take them. I don't mind. I never thought that we'd have that be facing this kind of crisis in the West that we're facing. Yeah. And listen, we think that there's lots of rocky road ahead, but we go through these cycles, and we're going through a very challenging one right now. The truth will prevail, and things will get back on track, but it's going to take a little bit of effort and a little bit of time. And in the meantime, we'll have some laughs. We're going to make some money next year. And we wish you all the best last couple of weeks here, and a wonderful Christmas. And we'll get in there between now and New Year's as well, because we'll probably do a show talking about some of the stocks from the last year and what we're looking for to next year. Yeah, we'll do a year in review here, just kind of like looking at the overall picture and stuff. And to wrap it up, just a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays to everyone out there. To you, Andrew, and Adam as well. Shout out to Adam, who always does such a fantastic job producing these shows for us. We couldn't do it without him, so big round of applause for him. Looking forward to a great 2023. There's going to be a lot of exciting stuff going on. You're going to be down in Kansas City in a couple of weeks here at the, is it FarmCon? FarmCon. It's going to be awesome. We're excited to hear all about that. And we're looking forward to a great year ahead. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to the videos, guys. And Merry Christmas, Andrew. It's always a pleasure doing these shows with you.